I think the guys are they've been working hard. It's good today, first day in pads. To see them go out there with having a little bit of juice, a little energy. You're always worried about that last practice. Before you go on a break, are the guys going to be into it and all that. But I thought they were really energized and came out and competed. Obviously we've got to go up there and watch film. And I know there's going to be some good, some bad, and some indifferent. But, I do think the guys are working hard and they're trying to improve and trying to take the game to the next level, which we got a long ways to go. So, we need every work that we can get, all of it.
Lost a lot of guys at defensive tackle, seniors who have been here for a while. What's it been like, that transition this spring so far, with obviously Easton still there, but, Moy and some of those others stepping up?
Well, obviously, it's their turn. This is their team, and their watch. What are they willing to accept? What are they going to let happen on their watch? But I've been pleased with Jackson and Bryson. There's things coming out of last season, when we sat down and did our exit meetings on things that we talked about that they needed to do to improve their game and try to take their game to the next level. And it was good to see them, come out and try to focus on that, so far this spring, just improving, fundamentally, which would now take their game to another level. But obviously we got to, build depth. We got to get depth and, because everybody knows we like to play a lot of guys. So, just it's a process that, we just got to continue to work at.
What kind of leader is Jackson?
Jackson is a tremendous leader, and I think, he's taking it to the next level. I've been really pleased with him, but, sometimes, like I told him, you just can't talk the talk, you got to walk the walk. But, I've been pleased with him. I've been pleased with Don Bailey and him stepping up, trying to be a leader. And Bryson in his own way, just how he has at least come out and just come to work every day. That's been pleasing. I think, Josh Joseph has done a really good job, so far this spring, trying to be a leader and trying to take his game to another level. So, it's just, it's encouraging to see the guys come out there and really try to work at their craft, and understand that, it's a process, it's not a sprint. This thing ain't gonna be overnight. It's gonna take work. We gotta invest, so we can get the right return that we want.
You've been big on culture and establishing that in your room throughout your time here. Do you feel like it's in good hands with those guys, taking sort of the baton from the guys that just left and keeping it where it needs to be?
Well, hopefully we're gonna improve it, to be honest with you. Culture is big, standards are big. The guys that came before them, I think, we took some strides and bringing some pride back into D-line play here. But, there's just so much room for improvement. No one can rest on their laurels, So we got to keep working. It's something that's always ongoing. The line keeps getting moved, so we just got to continue to work and continue to improve and continue to strain.
With how much you guys did rotate guys on the defensive line, how have you seen it, or how do you hope it makes the transition seamless without having guys like Omari, Omar, and Elijah?
I really don't understand the question, but we got to develop more guys so we continue that tradition. So right now it's just a process, and with some guys being banged up, so it's been a little bit more of a stressor, because Hobbs obviously is out, Nathan Robinson, so but now it's the next man up, but I do think it's given Campbell and Utley probably more reps than they probably really wanted to take this spring, because now they're getting a more of a workload, and really trying to strain and see, hey, we say we want to play as freshmen, but now you got to get out there and actually put that work in. And like I said, you can't talk your way on the field. And I always tell them, if I could spray paint you great, I would, but that ain't the way it works. We have to put in that work. It don't work like that. So it's a growing process. I think the guys would probably be better to answer those questions for you than I am. But they're working, they're being pushed, and like I told them, they've just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that is my job as a coach, to put them in uncomfortable situations and get them comfortable being there, so now we can get the good stuff to come out. And that's just what we're trying to do, to try to get good and greatness to come out of.
What do you think Isaiah and Ethan are? I know you just talked about, they're getting more than they want, but I mean, I don't want you to compare them to previous guys or anything like that, but when you look at assessment of them right now, where do you think they are in terms of a chance to be ready?
Well, I mean, they're gonna have to be ready. I mean, we don't really have a whole bunch of choices. So, I think they're very talented, big men that we've got to really work on improving their play so that they can go out and compete and play at a championship level in this conference, which it ain't easy. I mean, it ain't easy, so, but the one thing I will say about both of those young men, they've handled it well. I mean, compared to like sometimes everybody handles G differently. All right, so, I've actually been pleased with the way that they've handled me. They're tough-skinned. You can get on them, you can push them, and it seems not to rattle them. So with that being said, I'm encouraged that we're gonna get there. But we're a long ways from being there. But I like their attitude. I like their work ethic. I'll be excited to get the guys back that are banged up when we can get them back in the summer camp and fall camp and all that, and see how we can mix and match and see what we can come to.
We didn't get to see a lot of Jamal Wallace last year. How's he come along since he arrived?
Jamal, people don't realize this. Jamal, and I think our guys laugh when he say this. Jamal didn't play with his hand in the dirt when junior college. Believe it or not, he probably did play some safety. He loves telling everybody he plays safety and played outside linebacker and all that. So, it's been a learning process, for him to just learn the intricacies of D-line play. He's having to not go from being an off the ball guy to playing defensive end. He went from being an off the ball guy to playing D tackle, which that's different temperature of grease. So it's been a learning curve, for him. But same thing, they're good young men. I mean, and that's the thing. I think they're eager. They want to learn. But it's just a process that we've got to go through, and we've got to grow every day. They've got to grow as players. I've got to grow as a coach, and then that way we can move the needle the right way.
You knew Chop at Auburn. What's it been like having him with you here, and now seeing him sort of his work get rewarded with a promotion to the staff? And
I mean, obviously, you always like seeing guys, get their opportunity and all that. He's a guy that he worked with me at Auburn. Came here, with me. He's worked his way up, and it's just good to see people get rewarded and all that. And just get that opportunity.
What goes into his hard work? How would you sort of describe him as a worker, as a recruiter? Just from
Oh yeah, he does a great job with it, man. He's relentless. He does a great job of building the relationships, and he works at it. He builds trust and all that. And adds value. In a thing that's sort of getting lost in today's new age of different way of recruiting. But he does just a great job of building those relationships, building that trust. And having us an opportunity to have a chance, to close on guys at the end.
What's the next step for a guy like Tyree Weathersby? He was coming along. Freshman year got hurt. What's the next step for him?
Man, we need for him to make tremendous strides, and I do feel like Weathersby and Gentle both have had 4 real good days of practice, and we need for both of those young men to come on and be able to give us real quality depth there. Weathersby's probably one of the more heavy-handed kids that we have in the program. When he puts his hands on people, he can move people and he shock them and move them. So just to see him gain confidence, continue to improve his play, because you got to understand the program that he came from. You know, they didn't win a game. You know, so this is really, a lot of it's been really new for him, just learning some of the nuances of the play and the fundamentals and the technique and all those things. But he's a guy, same thing. Both of those young men, man, they just want to give me more, give me more. They want to be sponges. They want to be coached. And it's good having a guy like Don Bailey that's been through the wars and paid his, you know, paid his dues, to be able to take those guys and help bring them on. So, you know, I'm encouraged by both of those kids, young men.
For Bryson Easton, a guy who's going on his 6th year of being in this program, just when it comes to spring practice, what is it that you really want to see from an experienced guy like him?
Well, you know, obviously Bryson is very talented. And we've always talked about that every year I've been here. He's one of the more gifted kids, you know, that we have. You know, but just seeing him being, I guess, more attentive, you know, to doing the little things right. You know, because he is a talented guy. You know, everybody, when they writing him up and with the scouts and the coaches and all that, his talent jumps out. But there were some lot of things that he needs to clean up in his game. And for him to come out and at least be focused on fixing certain things that we've talked about, that's been encouraging. That's, to me, that's showing that he's maturing, and that's showing that he's growing, you know, as a man, that he's taking that serious.